Hey there, everyone. That sexy nerd is back again. And, wow. And we're watching Nostalgia Critic's The Three Stooges. Apparently, he did the Three Stooges movie now. I have never seen this movie. I've never really been a big fan of The Three Stooges, to be quite honest. I should have watched their things a little bit more often, but yeah. I don't know. Never really was a big fan, but you know, they are a little funny. So I have watched them a little bit, but you know, Larry, Moe, and Curly, yeah. So yeah, that's basically all I know. Moe Howard, you know, the haircut. They made that joke in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Again, I just put them together, and it took me forever, longer than I care to admit to figure that out. So why don't we just watch the movie, because I've never seen this movie. So please smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content, and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And let's do this thing, y'all. By the way, I just want to say to all of y'all, thanks for coming in for the Tom and Jerry one. I really felt the love and appreciation that and you know, just the mutual love that we had for the Tom and Jerry. You know, I never did the movie, by the way, his version of the movie. And I did like that movie. So let me know if you want me to do the Nostalgia Critic Tom and Jerry movie.
There was darkness. Then yeah, I still got shingles.
I thought
it's on its way out. Honestly, by the time this goes live, it might already be gone. But for the moment, I still got it. So I'm going to do at least one more of these audio-only reviews. With that said, I'm picking a pretty good subject to talk about because The Three Stooges definitely soaks in a lot of visual humor. I was a huge Stooge head growing up, and who am I kidding? I still am. I get the merchandise every once in a while, watch that long-ass documentary that came out years ago and wasn't bored by a second of it.
Really?
And of course, love watching their old shorts. But funny enough, I never did check out the 2012 movie. Maybe because, funny enough, everyone told me it wasn't funny enough.
So, does it look a little better now?
Directed by the Farrelly brothers, there was a lot of talk around this movie simply based on the casting.
What the fuck?
Or rather, who was going to be cast. Get this, the original lineup was Benicio del Toro as Moe, Sean Penn as Larry, and Jim Carrey as Curly.
That
who
sounds
reportedly
great.
even started putting on weight for the role. For one reason or another, though, each actor had to drop out of the movie, resulting in, well, not Benicio del Toro, Sean Penn, and Jim Carrey.
Ew.
Instead, what we got was Sean Hayes, Will Sasso, and Christy Amatopoulos, who, to their credit, were all decent choices, but man, where's that parallel universe where the world got to see this?
I know, right? Seriously.
Maybe it was for the best because the overall reaction to the movie was not great. And that was frustrating because, according to many fans, it could have been great. Many people acknowledge not only how well the actors got down the personalities and slapstick of the Stooges, but how well the movie at times did capture the spirit of the original shorts.
Really?
It just sadly combined with the Farrelly brothers, shall we say, past their prime? And also painfully dated tie-ins like, I'm sure you've heard, Jersey Shore. Yes, obviously this trio that survived decades with timeless comedy and no doubt will survive decades more clearly team up perfectly with what your overtanned aunt and uncle used to call
Oh, what?
Like I said, I am a Stooge fan, so I am curious to see what legit works in this movie and what I've heard discussed in Infamous Legend has not. So let's take this sick day to make myself even sicker by finally watching the Three Stooges movie.
Why are there too many famous people in this?
It opens on a stoogey enough intro with the theme music playing and a title card indicating this is their first adventure. And I do mean first as it takes place right after they're born.
Everybody inside! Come on! Time for your chores!
The hell?
I'm really not well yet because I swear that looks like Larry David as a nun.
What do you think this is, the sound of music?
It is! It is Larry David as a nun!
Give him credit, this is definitely a movie that's gonna make some choices.
Wow.
Hear us out!
Everybody is special. We're not inconsequential.
Okay, did I put on Movie 43's rendition of Annie, or is this a really bonkers way to start a Three Stooges movie?
Shut up!
It's a really bonkers way to start a movie. Oh, maybe this is the beginning to a movie that was proposed in a Goofy movie.
Shut up! No! enough of the singing!
While trying to figure out what film this is, a car literally drops off 3 orphans, reminding the audience, oh yeah, Three Stooges flick. To be fair, if they came out my cooch doing that, I'd probably toss them too.
Oh, wow.
Please go tell the boys come down for lunch.
Jane Lynch?
Continues its random casting of nuns with Jane Lynch and Jennifer Hudson.
What?
They're making Mandalorian's casting look subtle, as the boys unsurprisingly cause chaos as they get older.
Anesthetic. 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 15 milligrams. 5, 10, 15.
Why do I feel like this is going to be like Hocus Pocus 2, where the kid portion that's usually the lamest part in movies is going to be the best part? Seriously, it's kind of crazy how good these boys are.
Really?
I'm your guy.
How long's he got? He's taking chemo, right?
Don't worry, separating them won't be a big deal. He's the only one that's not a brother. Maybe he was adopted. Maybe they're all adopted. How is this supposed to work?
Who's this?
Hi, my name's Teddy.
All right, Teddy, get in line with the others.
I take it this Ted wants to ride our clout too?
This is gonna be a day you'll never forget.
Thankfully, the parents are just as sadistic as the boys, as the father tells Teddy to tell Mo he's been adopted.
You fellas mind if I have something to remember you by?
You name it, Mo.
Oh, what the
I'll just say it. Can we have a resurgence of comedians retelling their lives as kids? I don't think we knew how to do it back in the day. Maybe still don't.
Those guys really mean a lot to you, don't they?
All I've ever had.
Mo convinces his new parents that life just isn't complete without Larry and Curly, so rather than separate them all, they take Teddy.
Forget it! It was a bad idea!
Okay, I'm kinda digging this movie's mean-spiritedness. Years go by and the children grow up into, well, man-children, still causing trouble at the orphanage.
You got something to say? Show who's boss.
Okay, that's not bad. I'm not gonna lie, this film's doing okay so far. The slapstick is decent, the dialogue gets a few laughs.
Why don't you go buy a toupee with some brains in it?
Even the puppy-eyed kid characters who are usually death in movies like this, they get a few giggles.
You think you're the only kid in the world who ever
What?
watched his parents drown and got sent to an orphanage, had his only brother dragged away kicking and screaming? Dude, it happens.
What the
That
fuck?
storm cloud of Jersey Shore gonna ruin this movie.
The orphanage will be forced to close down at the end of the month.
We get a classic Stooge scenario with the orphanage about to be closed down and the Stooges volunteering to get the money, despite them only having 30 days.
We'll climb mountains. We'll forge rivers. We'll forge checks.
While admittedly not every
What?
joke works, a lot more do than I expected. Even ones that sound like they'd be dated like a Foster's commercial joke end up turning in a pretty good Stooge bit.
The children will be sent to foster home.
That's Australian for beer. Would you like that in a bottle or a mug?
I'll take it in the mug.
You got it.
I don't know. I'm about 25 minutes in and I'm having a pretty good time.
I'm gonna let it
He smacked the shit out of him.
Shut up!
Okay, cutting off the first song was funny, but cutting off anything Jennifer Hudson starts, that's a war crime.
Yeah, that is. What the fuck? What?
We begin part 2, and I do mean begin. It's almost like a completely different movie gets going here.
Do we really have to knock him
Maybe
off?
that's the point, though.
Mother made me sign a prenup.
Seriously, do we need to change the title card to this? As the Stooges looking for money interrupt this couple scheme. I'm sure this'll go nowhere.
In the wrong hands, this thing could be dangerous.
I think that's what these 3 actors said after reading the script.
I'll pay you $830,000 for a job that won't take you more than 10 minutes.
One of the scheme hatchers named Lydia, played by Sofia Vergara,
I know.
approaches the 3 of them with an offer that if they bump off her husband, she'll pay them what they need. Craig Bierko plays the supposed husband, pretending he has a fatal disease and wants to be killed quickly and by surprise. The
What?
Stooges help out, of course, messing up the plan, giving both a mix of really bad but also really good slapstick.
Holy shit. I paused that at the wrong time. Oh, God.
The Stooges help out, of course, messing up the plan, giving both a mix of really bad but also really good slapstick. Bad. Good. Bad. Good. Good plus callback. Okay, I guess this works.
You look like you could use a grief massage.
I hear this is called the Biden.
We want the do-re-mi you owe us, lady.
They demand the money only to discover he's still alive and in the hospital.
It'll be easy pickings to slide a pillow over the poor slum's face and give him the surprise send-off he wanted.
Boy, Hitman became a much sillier game after Job Simulator took it over. They dress up like doctors and nurses, again a callback to the original shorts, but they wander into the wrong room and have to change a bunch of babies' diapers. Why do I feel like this is where the quality's gonna drop?
Raise your hand. Who wants to go first?
Well, I hope you found that funny because it's the next 3 minutes.
No.
Yeah, not only is this pretty lame, but Curly's looking like a serial killer. Why would you think a piss-stained Will Sasso in drag wouldn't look scary?
What is going on?
This is for not leaving a good enough franchise alone.
Yeah.
That we should talk.
Oh, why does this thing have the weirdest fucking casting? Why?
They stumble upon the room of the injured phony and try to finish the job.
Well, it's been a bad week for Lenny the Lion.
What the
Will you
hell
keep
is
it down?
on?
We're trying to get another subplot going.
He's turtling. Buttonhead, you got any dynamite?
Okay, seriously,
What?
when did Mo, Larry, and Curly become Mr. Pink, Mr. Orange, and Mr. Brown? The dynamite doesn't work, and the faker says he no longer has the disease, so he doesn't want to be killed. Their mannequins are chased out of the hospital. No, really, how's the Three Stooges movie giving me this much nightmare fuel? And guess who they literally fall on?
Teddy, from the orphanage, Teddy. You remember, Mo, I went home with your parents.
Oh yeah, plot 5, I think? Man, is this movie disjointed. I feel like every second something is gonna interrupt. Teddy offers to help the Stooges, but Mo turns him down, still feeling a lot of resentment. Never realizing he's the husband Lydia wants to have bumped off.
I'm thinking of inviting them to our anniversary party.
Yeah, they look like they're a lot of fun.
Okay, so I will admit, at the halfway point, I can't say this movie is awful, but it's losing me.
Yeah.
So many random subplots that are trying to tie its way into the main story, but just come across as rushed or sloppy. In a 20-minute short, this could maybe work, but in an hour-and-a-half movie, this is getting a little tiring. Like, I don't know, what are the Stooges gonna do next? Literally shout out anything. You won't get it right.
We'll become farmers. Farming we will go.
Of course, farming, because, you know. I mean, I hope you do, because I sure don't.
Josie, you gotta hold still. in
What
order to get a
the
drink.
hell?
Special guest director Salvador Dali took over production, I guess. Chased down by police for farming fish on a golf course. At this point, yes, that is a sentence I thought I would say during this film. And they stumble into a theater where Larry and Curly finally say Mo should have stuck with his family. This causes a big rift between them that, writing-wise, doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Why do you think we never got another shot at getting adopted again? It's because when you messed it up that day, you messed it up for all of us.
What?
But their acting here does still kind of sell it.
Well, what are you waiting for? Go on, scram! I bet you two earthworms won't last a day without me.
You buy Mo thinks he let his brothers down but can't admit it, so he pushes them farther away. The logic doesn't make a lot of sense, but the emotion does.
What an original way to showcase your personality.
But of course, this was all an audition without them even knowing it.
What the
You know
hell?
what? Fine. Whatever. I'm used to these dumb segues by this point, as long as it leads to something funny.
You are the newest cast member of the world's #1 rated reality show.
Oh boy, here we go.
Yep, this is when everybody's favorite part of the movie gets going, but even that's interrupted by another subplot involving a lion at a zoo and our two schemers still trying to get the Stooges. And in case you're wondering, yes, you could totally cut this out and not miss a damn thing. Okay, I legit did not have giving the Heimlich to a dolphin, shooting out a peanut, hitting a lion in the balls on my bingo card. You still got some surprises, movie. They're not funny, but they are surprising.
I'm dying.
By the way.
This guy
I'm
can't even buy the
dying.
right kind of grated cheese. I asked for Romano, not Parmesan, you mook.
Okay, movie. I could just show my shingles again if I needed a quick gross out. It doesn't take much talent.
By the way, why are you even on our show?
What are you, crazy? That's assault.
Are you kidding me? Who does this?
Well, I for one am shocked the cast of Jersey Shore can't act. They clearly need a talk from Tom Brady's acting coach.
Ooh. Oh, God, good Lord. Is this really how the movie was? This is awful, though.
I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving.
His acting coach being LeBron James.
Everybody.
Larry and Curly return to the orphanage empty-handed, only to find Murph is still ill and they don't have the health insurance to treat her. To make things worse, it looks like this is all the Stooges' fault.
You wombats have caused so many accidents, there's not a company on this earth who'll cover us until we pay the $830,000.
We haven't had it this bad since we lost our house insurance with that Keaton boy. Curly and Larry just watch Mo after discovering all this. Yeah, I don't really know what the movie's doing right now.
the fuck?
Just watching Mo beat up the Jersey Shore people, which on paper I guess sounds a little funny, seeing these people everyone hates get beat up, but it just feels so forced and phony. The two styles are so different. Rather than offset each other, they're just off. We got to know Moe, Larry, and Curly, so it's fun to see them put their all into their slapstick. But if you haven't watched Jersey Shore because you value your life, there's no interest or passion behind any of this. A lot of it's just awkward, like this third helping of nightmare fuel the movie's giving.
Oh!
Because there's not enough random casting in this, here's Piyama.
I'm sorry, sir, but the Clown College is on the 9th floor.
Actually, we're here to figure out why you and Francis really left the ranch in season 6.
Yeah, it was completely out of nowhere.
And they tried to talk to Teddy's father.
Told us the whole story about why you dropped him
father
back
from
off.
Seventh
He wanted
Heaven.
us to go back for you two.
They find out from him that
realize
Moe
that.
wanted to return as a kid because he missed Larry and Curly. But hell with that, we have more amazing Jersey Shore acting.
Great, just great. So basically what you're saying is this whole show is all about the ratings?
Okay, you're making the acting on Pawn Stars look believable.
You guys seen Bob Dylan? No, man. You know where he's at? There he is. Hey, Mr. Dylan.
What's really happening, guys? It's all real. Larry and Curly meet up with Moe and they make amends in their own way.
You know that woman who wanted us to take out her husband? She's married to Teddy. I knew I smelled
Yeah, they always smile when they're afraid. See why them getting hurt feels so phony? Speaking of phony, they figure out that Lydia is a phony and is most likely gonna kill Teddy at their anniversary party. A party that, yes, has acting about as on par as the Jersey Shore cast.
Can we please go upstairs and play in Teddo's game room?
Go play with the balloons.
But my stupid brother popped all the balloons. This is the last one.
Okay, producer's kid or director's kid. Really? I was just kidding. The Stooges skate in on poodles because you're not gonna question it at this point, and they disguise themselves as balloon men, of course giving it to a small kid who floats away.
Hey, short stack.
Thanks, mister.
You float down!
Those three idiots are here.
The Kardashian girls?
That was great.
Talk from a film that probably had them as their first choice before the Jersey Shore cast.
Somebody help her!
I think it would have been funnier with a
The kid ends up falling in the cake, drawing attention to the three of them, so they quickly make their way to Teddy, who it looks like has been drugged.
Why am I still in bed if the party's going on?
Because the people who directed Dumb and Dumber did this, and they only like endings where everyone's in a fancy bright room with a gun.
I was calling the shots.
Teddy's father reveals he was the one behind everything, and thankfully this lame green screen complements this lame exposition.
Unfortunately, when your mom passed away, she left everything to you.
So you were just using me to do your dirty work.
Hey, remember when this was about saving an orphanage? Like, how did all this stuff find its way into this movie?
Wow.
Curly's rat scares them off into a river as the car fills with water.
How could this possibly get any worse?
Oh.
Hell, screw the orphanage plot. Remember when this used to be a Three Stooges movie? Like, it started out that way, and then they didn't know what to do, so they're like, hey, here's some leftover Bill Murray jokes from Osmosis Jones, I guess. Give him credit, at least it's not a fart lighting joke. Of course that saves the day.
Yeah. Of course it saved the
I
day.
could ask, why aren't they burned? But water, duh. Thus the bad guys are arrested. In a cute twist, Teddy doesn't give them the money to save the orphanage because he blames the orphanage for handing them over to such a monster, which is kind of a good point.
Ooh.
And the orphanage seems to close down. They get around it, though, by turning the place into an orphanage and spa. A very pervy orphanage and spa.
The network is taking the liberty of paying off the orphanage's debts and building the new complex. And you three will be the stars of our next big reality show. What do you say?
I say this is unforgivably stupid, but I can smell those credits around the corner, so end this.
Oh. Wow, this is
wait,
painful.
not before the Fairley brothers. Yeah, they're saying this is them. That's actually pretty funny. Trying to
What?
ruin all the fun you just had.
Kids, do not poke anyone in the eye.
This movie's all about fun and games, so please play safe at home.
Giving up on your iconic trio halfway through your film, though, that's totally fine. Because, yeah, that's what it feels like. The movie started out honestly really fun, keeping true to the spirit of the Stooges while also having its own strange spin on things. But as it kept going, it felt more and more desperate as well as more and more forced. I will admit the movie did have a lot more laughs in it than I was expecting, but they weren't enough to make it a satisfactory flick. When the jokes don't work, they're not annoying, I guess. Even the Jersey Shore ones, honestly, could have been worse. But they certainly are lame and more than overpowered what did work in the flick. If you're a Stooge fan and want to see it for the 1/3 a movie that's decent, you might like it okay. But if you're looking for something that would have been worth these three being in it, then don't be a victim of circumstance.
Circumstance.
I'm the Nostalgia Critic, and hopefully you'll be seeing my ugly mug next week.
Hopefully.
Bye-bye.
Boy, we kind of devolved into the fifth circle of hell. And that it was so bad. But, you know, I mean, there was still a little bit of laughs. You know, again, like he said, the physical comedy was pretty good. But, you know, honestly, how did you not make beating up the Jersey Shore funny? How'd you do that? I don't know. I can't even respect the movie for doing something like that. So, I mean, you know, hey, I was willing to give it a chance because I've been surprised with some of these movies. The Dudley Do-Right movie, not Bean, just a lot of other movies that, Rocky and Bullwinkle, you know, the Country Bears being a little bit better than you give it credit for. You know, it's always been that way. But, you know, what do you guys think? Anyway, I'm going to be doing Ahsoka, so I have been a little bit behind in the whole movie experience because, you know, I've been having some technical issues. But hopefully I'll be able to record this to be the next episode. And please, smash that like button if you want to see more sexy and nerdy content. And subscribe if you think I deserve it. And I'll see y'all in the next video.